everyone, you are listening to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast, and I'm your host, Rachel Chamley. I'm a mindset and manifesting coach from the UK, and I am here to ignite that fire inside of you. If you are a female entrepreneur or change maker, or just a woman that is wanting more from life, then you are in exactly the right place. I am going to give you my no-nonsense, straight-talking advice to manifesting and show you how to take your life to that next level. So if you're ready, dive in now. Hi everyone, welcome to this week's podcast episode. I'm Rachel Chamley, and this week we are going to be diving into what it takes to commit to your dreams. Now, I am going to share a bit about my own journey on this because we are probably over 200 episodes deep now, and there'll be some new listeners who are maybe thinking, who is this girl? Where has she come from? What is this all about? So I'll share a bit about my backstory so I can talk you through how I have decided to commit to my journey and what I really want and those big dreams. And we've got to talk about what it's going to take for you to commit to those big dreams, because let's be honest, you might be in a place where I was, where things feel a little bit flat, things feel a little bit vanilla, as I like to call them. And, you know, we get to that point where we're like, there is something more. We know there's something more I should be doing. We know you have more potential. I knew I had more potential. This was kind of a cycle in my life. So I grew up in a small town in the north of England, and if anybody knows Cumbria, it is the most beautiful place. We have the coast, we have the fells, we have the lakes. It is incredible. But it's also very small and filled with lots of small towns and quite cut off from the rest of the UK. So we have very limited access of transport and things like that. We have roads coming in and out. We're not totally backwater, but it is quite cut off. So growing up, it wasn't like you had every opportunity on your doorstep. It was literally like you go to work at this place that pays really well, and if you get in there, you've kind of made it. So I worked through my life. I was different, you know, I didn't want to just go and get that job in that place. So what I did was I went and I flew out to another city, tried different places, tried different things, and come back to the same place, come back to my hometown, which is absolutely amazing. But I found myself back here. And through the years, you know, I've had good careers. I've been a bank manager and literally worked my way up through leadership roles. And it's been incredible, but it's also not been that fulfilling. So I would have that point where I'm like, yes, I love my job. This is amazing. This is what I should be doing. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, really? I'm bored again. I really want to strive and move on and reach that potential again that I know is inside me. Thing was, I didn't really know what that potential was. I didn't really understand it at the time, but I knew there was something driving me all the time for something more. And you might feel this yourself. You might feel a niggle inside. You might feel this nudge. You might feel like just a dullness. Sometimes it's just a goddamn dullness where you're just like, oh my God, something better must be out there. And believe me, it is. So this nudge, this niggle pushed me when I was at my lowest. I went to that place where everybody wants to work around me. And, you know, I was earning the big money. I was earning really good money. And, you know, compared to the banking world, I wasn't stretched like I was. I wasn't feeling stressed. I wasn't working long hours. I had a bit of work-life balance. And yet there was still something missing. It was still like I needed more. But because we're trained that the more needs to be striving in your career, that's what I thought I had to go for. So I started looking for other jobs in that business. I started looking for other places to go. And I just kept getting knockback after knockback. And it felt really rubbish. It didn't feel good at the time. I had a not so nice boss at the time that we just didn't gel. And things just weren't good. My mindset was low, my confidence was low. I was just not in a good place. So when you think of committing to your goals at that point, I was probably as far from that as you could ever imagine. I was literally like, oh my God, who is going to help me now? Like, what is going to come along and save me? And thankfully, there was a part of me that knew nothing was going to come along and save me until I did that myself. So I started thinking, right, I can't change the work situation at the minute. I've tried and I've tried, but I've got to change something with me. So I started a side hobby. I started going to spiritual development class, which is something that I have always been interested in, but really just thought there was just them magical people who could do things like that. And then there was me. But I thought, I'm going to give it a go. People used to say to me, you could do this, you've got intuition. And I was like, oh, really? That's nice. But how do you do it? So I did start to go to this spiritual development class, and it was like a weekly guided meditation, which was amazing. It was clearing energy. It was starting to tap into your intuition and see what it felt like, because it's different for everyone. And I used to go to this class and I would look at the readers and I would look at the energy healers and I think, wow, they are incredible. Like, I am never going to be at that space, but I love this class. But suddenly the class started opening up new opportunities, new doors. I started learning new things. One of the new things I learned was tapping. I went to a tapping workshop, and this is called emotional freedom technique, if anybody hasn't heard of this. But I use tapping all of the time, and I use it with clients. And what it is it is meridian points in our body and the channels of flow that move through that, our prana, our chi, our life force. Sometimes it gets blocked by the limiting beliefs that we hold. Now, I was totally obsessed by learning about limiting beliefs at this point. So as soon as she said it's a masterclass where we're going to be releasing limiting beliefs, I was like, I'm all in. Because I knew there was something stopping me reaching that potential. And I was serious about, this is one of my limiting beliefs. There's something holding me back. There's some belief I have that is holding me back from stepping into that potential, even though I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what that potential was, but I was adamant there was some limiting belief that I needed to shift. So I went to this tapping class, and boy, did that open things up. I shifted energy around other people being better than me. That was a huge belief I had. As a middle child growing up, we have this, this connotation about middle children, but it does kind of resonate. It does kind of sink into your body and beliefs that, you've got the older one who's firstborn, so kind of put on this pedestal. You've got the younger one who's the baby, so, let them be the baby. The middle one's just kind of the middle one that's a bit of the peacekeeper, a bit of the one that just like mingles in between. And that's what that role I had adopted. And do you know what? Your birth position means absolutely nothing. So if you are thinking you're a middle child, you're firstborn, you're hard done to, all of that, you need to shift that, because actually it means F all. It really does. And it's only that we tell ourselves. So I'd told myself for years, so I'd put everybody else before me. And literally this was a belief I needed to shift. And once I shifted that through tapping, I was able to open up to more opportunities. More things started to show up just randomly, like the universe likes to do. And one of the things was, everybody kept saying to me, I used the secret to get my new job. I used the secret to do this. I used the secret for that. And I was like, what is the secret? What is everybody talking about? What is going on here? So my friend said, The Secret's a documentary on Netflix. Go and watch it. So one day I was at my ultimate lowest. I'd had the worst day at work. Literally, I was like, something has to change. So I got myself a glass of wine and I sat there and I was like, right, I am watching The Secret. And I started watching it and I started listening to what they were saying and about how your thoughts penetrate out and vibrate into the universe. And then that works as a magnet and brings to you what you are seeing. So I was like, whoa, I am creating all of this. All of this that I didn't like, I was creating. And this is how my journey started. Now I'm a manifestation coach, teaching other people this. But this is literally how it started. I was sat on my sofa that night, and all of a sudden, I seen this vision of me stood on a stage talking to thousands of people. I didn't know what I was talking about. I didn't know what I was saying to them. I didn't know any of the details. All I knew that I could see their happy faces, and I was stood there teaching them something. And that was it. That was the only part of my dream that I knew. That was enough for me to commit every part of my being to that vision. There was nothing else. And people often think, I need to know all the details. I need to know what my future looks like. I need to know what things are going to be. You don't need to know anything. You just need to know that there is something more, there's something bigger. And when you open yourself up, you can see it. Now, I have seen that vision over and over again, and I literally just see myself stood on a stage, like that is what it's about. There's all these people there to see me. I'm teaching manifesting now, but that could be something else that I'm talking about, but I still commit to that vision. And you'll know deep in your heart that there's something more, there's something you want to explore, there's something bigger. And you might be lucky enough to know that dream now. Now, I never knew that I ever wanted to stand on a stage and talk in front of loads of people. I never knew that that was something in my path. But there was something in me that just went, that is my life. That is what I am committing to. Now, once you have that idea of what you want, whether you know it's something bigger, whether you know it's a crazy dream, whether you know any part of it, the beauty of it is we've got to commit. Now, at that point, I fully went all in. I walked into work the next day and I was like, I'm not even bothered what is happening in this place because I know I'm not going to be here. You know, this is not my life. So I started to use the manifesting practices. I started to commit from that day that this was not going to be my life. This was not my life. Me stood on that stage doing something, that was my life. That was what was coming for me. And I just went all in on that dream. Now, I'm not the only crazy one who's done this before. There is so many people who've just got a glimpse of a dream and just fully, wholeheartedly committed to it. And we know these people, we grew up with these people. Walt Disney actually he had the dream of Disney, you know, like he had that big dream. And how much has Disney affected all of our lives? But Walt Disney went into 302 banks before he got a yes. 302 banks said no to him. They thought he was crazy. They wouldn't back his idea. They wouldn't invest in him. Imagine that. Now, committing to your dream is literally the inability to process no. We've got to, if we have an idea of what we're manifesting, if we're trying to manifest this better life, if you see yourself with money, if you see yourself, you know, influencing people, if you see yourself with your own business, whatever that is for you, whatever that big dream is for you, you've got to decide to commit wholeheartedly. What we do often as humans is we want security. We want something to be sure. We want that sure thing. So we sit and we have 1 foot in the camp of today and 1 foot in the camp of tomorrow. And it's kind of like, I'll nudge forward and I'll test the water, but actually I'm not going to leap until you show me I'm safe, until you show me I have that safety net in front of me. I am not going to commit till that point. You have to show me it and then I'll believe it can happen. The universe does not work that way. One of Walt Disney's quotes is, you've got to believe it before you can see it. Like, we wouldn't have that quote if it wasn't for him. And that's because that is what he did. He believed it before he could see it. He knew that somebody was going to say yes. He knew that dream was happening. And he had that inability to process that word no and carry on no matter what. What if he'd have went into 20 banks and got no after no after no? I mean, imagine that. Imagine 20 redirections. Imagine 20 rejections. Imagine, and then still believing that your vision, your dream is worth committing to. That is the faith that you need in your manifesting. That is the faith that you need to commit to this bigger life. And this is why there's only about 5% of the population that actually go really, really big. We wonder why money and success is so unfairly shared out. And it's because of this commitment. It's because of this commitment to see something bigger than you are actually living now. So you have to commit. You have to go all in. You have to leap before you can be caught. It literally is that way. It's not like somebody can catch you while you're standing still. That doesn't make sense. You've got to leap and the universe catches you. So what has stopped you leaping at the minute? There'll be something holding you back. There's some part of you that's too scared to leap because you're too scared of change, or you're too scared of, things not working out. But why would they not work out? The fact that you have those visions, the fact that you have those dreams and desires means that they are for you. Now, I didn't know the details of what my dream was. Like I said, I just seen it, me stood on this stage, but I committed all of my being to make that happen. I strived to learn more about manifesting. I strived with my own mindset. I didn't even know what I was doing that for, but by doing all of this stuff, it led to me teaching about it, which ultimately is going to lead to me standing on that stage. Now, this crazy journey has led to this podcast, which is incredible. It's led to me running group programs. It's led to all sorts of things, becoming an international bestseller. This dream is happening. Yes, I've not been at that point where there's thousands of people stood on that stage, but that is happening, and I know that, and I have the faith, and I leap and commit to this every single day. Every time something scary happens, or every time somebody offers me an opportunity and it scares me, I go, yes, because I don't know where that next step is going to take me. But I have that ability to say that I know there is more in me and I am going for it. So I don't sit in my comfort zone. I don't let my fears take over. I don't let the illusions that they are creating hold on. If these come up, I work through them. I use the mindset techniques. I use the energy healing. I shift the belief. I will not sit in my pity party for long. Believe me, we all have it, but I don't sit there for long. I keep moving. And to really commit to your dreams, you need this momentum. You need to keep moving. You can't just act once and then hope everything's going to align. You need to take movement every single day towards this dream. You need to commit to it wholeheartedly, just like Walt Disney did. As well, Gone with the Wind was rejected by 38 publishers before it was released. I mean, people who you might think have done the most amazing things in this world literally have been rejected so many times. I am a big follower of Jamie Kern-Lima. If you haven't checked her out, she's the owner and founder of It Cosmetics. Her book is called Believe, because it is literally, she had this dream. She started off with a skin condition. She was on TV, I think as an anchor woman. She got a dream job that she thought, but she had this skin condition and it would mean her breaking out in the middle of a TV show, which really led to her self-confidence dropping and everything. So she got this big dream job, and then suddenly she felt crippled, like she couldn't do it. So she started her own cosmetics company to cover these this rosacea that she had. Now, It Cosmetics, she tried to pitch that everywhere. She was literally selling things out of her sitting room. She was going to see buyers. She was going to get investment. And she got knockback after knockback after knockback. And one investor got her to the point where it was the final meeting, the final chance to say, yes, she was there. She was desperate. She was ready. And he turned around and said, no. And the bravery in her turned around and said, can I ask you why? Not just walk out, but can I ask you why? And he turned around to her and said, I don't believe that people are going to buy cosmetics from someone who looks like you. Can you believe that earth-shattering words that someone had the audacity to say? And she still went out of that room, picked herself up. She could have believed that. She could have took that and went, I am stopping. I need to stop. But she didn't. She did not. She put her big girl pants on and she went and she was like, I am not taking that. I am not, buying that crap that you were saying. She had this vision not only of helping people with these amazing cosmetics, which I use as well, but what she wanted to do was change the way that the beauty industry looked at beauty, change the way that women were seen. She had this bigger soul mission that she knew, and she was like, I don't care what this man is saying, that is not stopping me. Now, that was the biggest rejection of her life, but she managed to pick herself up and still believe in her dream. She still had faith in her heart and she still went for what she wanted. Now, she started to build the company throughout all that adversity and she built it to a point that it really got going. Actually, to the point that L'Oreal bought the company and she is still the major shareholder. So she hasn't lost her company neither. But L'Oreal bought the company for a mega, groundbreaking deal of $1.2 billion. Mic drop. Seriously. And the guy who rejected her rung her up and said, I was wrong. I am sorry. Congratulations on your deal, but I was wrong. So really, I want you to think there might have been people in your past that have knocked you. There might have been people in your past that wanted you to stay small. There might have been people now who are knocking you and want you to stay small. I still have that. I still fight with that all the time, but I don't let it win. I don't take it into my heart as a truth because it's not. It is not my truth. My truth is to stand on that stage and help thousands of people. That is my truth. That is my North Star. That is my vision. That is where I am going. And I am leaping wholeheartedly to that vision. So what are you going to leap to? What are you going to say yes to? Because literally everything is figure outable. I could have sat there for years and went, well, I don't know what this soul mission is. I don't know what I'm meant to be talking on the stage about. I don't know the how. So let's just sit and wait for the message to come through. I could have done that, but I'd have missed all this fun. From just committing, I started joining courses. I started doing different stuff. I started learning and just following the next thing that lit me up. That is how you find the way to your North Star. You just follow the next thing that feels good. But by doing that, you are creating this momentum. You are creating this energy. You are committing to that North Star, to that vision, to that dream. So start dreaming today and start committing. It's a choice for me to commit every single day because believe me, your comfort zone wants to come and swallow you up. So now my comfort zone is doing the podcast and, the lives and having different things, but I've got to keep pushing myself. I've got to keep stretching. I've got to keep expanding. So in November, I'm launching my next co-author book, which I am super excited about. Next month, I am going to be running an abundance challenge all around tapping on your money blocks, which is something new that I've not done a full 30 days on tapping, which is going to be incredible. So if you've not got your place for that, grab that now. But I am constantly saying yes to opportunities. I am constantly saying yes to what's coming next. And I don't even know what that's going to be. I got an email the other day to write the editor's intro to Soul and Spirit magazine. I was like, yeah, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing here, but I know I can learn and I know I can ask. So next month, I'm going to be writing the intro for Soul and Spirit magazine, which is on healing and gratitude. It is incredible. I get to answer readers' questions in a magazine now just by saying yes to myself. There is so much that you can do by committing to your goal, committing to your dream and saying yes. Do not sit back and ask for proof. No one is going to bring you that proof. No one is going to bring you that safety net, and no one is going to try and catch you before you leap. So I am asking you today, start committing to what it is you want to get out of this life. You have big potential. I attract the most amazing rock star people, the rebels, the ones who really want to do something different in this life. I know, because that's what I put out. This is what I manifest. So if you are listening to that and you don't believe it, then you should, because you are one of them rebels. You are one of them people who doesn't want this vanilla, boring life. You want excitement, you want magic, you want so much happiness and joy. So, start living it today. Stop holding yourself back. Stop playing small for anybody else and leap with everything in your heart. Because you can literally, once you leap, everything will start aligning for you. So commit. Be that Walt Disney. Don't take that rejection. Don't take people thinking that you're crazy. Go for it, because all you need is that one yes, but you can give yourself that yes today. You don't need to wait for anybody else's permission. You just dive in and commit wholeheartedly to who you're meant to be. So I really hope you've enjoyed this week. Please pop a comment in or review and let me know whether it resonates. And grab your place in the 30-day abundance challenge. Like I said, it starts on the 1st of November. The doors are open now and it is going to be incredible. We are going to be not only smashing them money beliefs, but actually shattering them. We are getting rid of them. We are opening ourselves up to this flow that is available to all of us. So please come and join me for that and have the most amazing week. Bye. I'm Rachel Chamley, and you've been listening to the Manifesting Straight Talk podcast. If you're not already following me on social media, make sure you come and find me on Instagram. I'm at Rachel Chamley, or come and join the Manifesting Straight Talk Facebook group. All my details are in the show notes, so you can catch me there. But I hope you've been left feeling inspired after this podcast. It was so much fun. Join me next time for another episode of Manifesting Straight Talk.